back to Sticks and Strings. I'm Naomi.
I'm Beth.
I'm Eve.
We're in the echo chamber again.
Yes.
We're back at their house.
And it is a different color.
The paint is done. The carpets are done.
The furniture's moved around.
Yeah, all the furniture's moved around. So we're back. Welcome back. We hope you've had a good week. We hope you got your stitching and your Diet Cokes from McDonald's. Or your coffee, tea, whatever floats your boat. And you're ready to sit with us for a little while.
Or some people actually drink water.
Water? Okay, if you have to drink water.
I saw this thing on Facebook. Some girls, interviewing college people, whatever. But so she was like, and I think in Florida, and she asked this one guy had a 6-pack of Diet Coke bottles or something, and she asked him something about that, and he said, yeah, it's kind of popular. A lot of people drink Diet Coke here, and he said something about some people actually don't drink water; they just drink Diet Coke all the time.
Like, yeah, we did that back in the 80s. We already know that.
That would
now all my colleagues at work.
I used to love drinking water. I used to love it.
All my colleagues at work have their little Stanleys. Well, now they have Owalas, just like me. But they're just like constantly. I'm like, so it's like, I drank a whole bottle of water today, and they're like, we're so proud of you.
I used to love it, and then I moved places where the water was opaque, or and I'm like, no.
Well,
and the bottled water was too expensive.
Filtered water.
Well, at work.
No, here I drink filtered water.
We had these big, I don't know what they were, 32 ounce, like big things they had like a health fair or something, or maybe they handed them out during customer service week or something like that. But they had the name of it was Blue Cross Blue Shield, that's where I used to work, and so we got these giant cups,
like the hospital
right?
kind of mugs.
Yeah, like this big mug, and the idea was, of course, that you would fill it up with water. You would sip water at your desk.
You
all
filled
day.
it with Diet Coke.
Yes, because downstairs of our offices there was a Quiznos place, and they have a special deal that for like 10 cents or something you could refill that giant thing with soda.
Oh gosh.
And so I would pay my 10 cents and fill it up with Diet Coke and sip that all day long at my desk.
Well, we hope you have your beverage of choice and your fiber art of choice, and you sit down with us and talk for a while. Okay, so I'm going to go first. My major accomplishment this week is that I am almost done. Look! The only thing I have left are some of the pine needles up here. I'm really, really happy with how the pine needles came out. This is a panel from Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. It says, I changed the words. It says, what I wrote out is, I heard a bird sing in dark December, a magical thing and sweet to remember. And my cardinals are all done, the pine cone's done, the back stitching on the pine cone is done.
The birds look fabulous.
And I love where these pine needles cross over the bird.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me so happy. I don't know. I just think they look so. These long stitches have come out. I'm really proud of them. I went on YouTube because I was starting them without their help, and I went on YouTube and found Colorado Cross Stitcher, which you guys talk about a lot, and she had a video actually using that whale and a light bulb. Explaining back stitching and long stitches, and one of the things she said was put it in a hoop, even if you're stitching in hand, which I've been stitching this whole thing in hand, but for the back stitch on the pine cone and all these long stitches, I used a hoop, and I think it really made a huge difference. So after I finished this upper branch of pine needles right here, all I have to do is finish the black frame around. I even added, I forced myself, there was a little crown here in the corner, and I didn't want to do it because I wanted to get to the long stitches, but I was like, no, I'm going to force myself to do it. So everything is done except for that pine needles and the...
I was going to ask you, I don't remember what you found. Did you redo the words at all, or you just went...
So the original is, I heard a bird sing in December, a magical thing and sweet to remember. But at the attic, they had it modified. And what theirs said was, I heard a bird sing in the dark of December, a magical thing and sweet to remember. But I remembered it in my mind as in dark December. So when I created the new chart for the words, I just did in dark December. And then I was like, why did the attic change it? And I thought, I wonder if it's really a poem. So I looked it up, and it's really a poem. And it says, in the dark of December. So, but what they had done was they did it like this, and they put a tiny little superscript of. And so I could have redone it and made it correct. But I was really, really sad because I had finished all the words and I wanted to get to the birds, and I asked Hannah, do you care that it's not the actual poem? She's like, no, I don't care. So I was like, fine, then I don't care either. And it still has good rhythm. I heard a bird sing in dark December, a magical thing and sweet to remember. So it's fine. I'm sorry to whoever wrote it. I can't remember the name of the author. If I remember to find it, I'll put it here at the bottom. But so I just decided not to.
I remember you were having a dilemma.
When I found out that it was a real poem and that I had done it wrong, I was really upset. But I'm like, Hawthorne Hollow did it wrong. And they don't care.
Just makes it,
So I mean, I'm sure whoever designed it just remembered it wrong, you know, or whatever.
Well, they may have just done it that way to make it fit better.
Right.
They may have done it that way for copyright issues, too.
Right, true, that's true, because it's not credited. So,
well, it's different than designing something and not selling it, and designing something and selling it.
But it also depends on whether it's in the public domain or not. Or
right, so but the one the attic had, you could buy the modified pattern, but you had to buy the whole pattern and all of the threads for the whole sampler.
In silks.
In silks, in their fancy threads. I love the attic, but I was like, I'm sorry, no. So you had to buy the threads, the silk threads for all of these.
Yeah, they had done a silk
to get
version.
the newly charted words for this thing. And I was like, it was like $80 or something crazy like that. And I was like, no, nah. And I thought, I have graph paper. See, here's my little drafting of it. So anyway, so this is almost done. I'm not going to work on it today though. Okay, I'm just kind of tired of it, and I want to do some other things. Okay, next up is last week. I'm very behind on my snakes. Ooh. This is Pumpkin, the Arizona snake, and this is Bill, the Massachusetts snake. I did get to the end of January on Pumpkin, so what's today, the 15th?
Yeah,
so
half a month behind.
I'm 15 days behind.
But you were finishing a cross stitch, and you were finishing
the
sweater.
So, and then, so I have to get caught up on Massachusetts as well, but here's my temperature snakes. They're very stiff. I assume that when they get longer, they'll be more bendy.
You can curl them up.
Yeah, but right now they're very stiff red heart yarn. So there's that. So I'm working on that.
Well, they make a really good door draft stoppers, you know.
Yeah, they'll relax.
Be longer than
They'll
that
get
too.
They'll get. So those are my snakes. I wanted to talk about this for a second. I bought this a few weeks ago with a gift card, and I've been debating what to do with it. Now, the lady who owns Tempe Yarn and Fiber created a pattern called Ocotillo, and it's a brioche pattern shawl. And if you've ever seen brioche, it's kind of a ribbing. It's like a double, it's reversible, and I'll put a picture here of the Ocotillo pattern. I've decided to do that, but I need to buy another amount of yarn that would be a contrast to this. So I'm thinking something solid, because with brioche on one side you see one yarn prominent, and on the other side it's reversible. The other yarn is prominent. So this is kind of like, it's called Dragon's Eye, and Beth pointed out that it's patriotic, and I was like, I didn't think of it that way at all. Now, not that I mind it, but
It doesn't look
very
it doesn't
small
look
amount of
patriotic.
red.
It looks red, white, and blue to me.
Well, okay,
That's what I
but
see.
it is red, white, and blue, but
It
it's
doesn't look like
mostly
red, white, and
blue with pops of red. So anyway, but the thing about this yarn is that it is a gradient yarn. It goes from dark to light to dark. So so that's going to be cool. And then so I need to find a high contrast yarn to go with it, and I don't know yet what to do. So not now, but probably in a couple weeks, I'm going to go back to Tinker Yarn and look at the Carefree, which is this yarn, and see if there isn't one that's more solid, or find a couple of solid dyed ones that would go with it. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea right now of what color I should pick, but because it's the shawl is reversible, so you can wear it one way and show this gradient, and then you can wear it the other way and show the other. So I don't know. I'm thinking about that, but I did decide that that's the shawl I'm going to make, and she designed it, I think, to really go with these skeins that she dyes herself. So there's that, and then as soon as I'm done with actually I'm going to work on it today too, but I am working on my aunt's sweater. I'm still in the same spot on these two swatches, but as soon as I'm done with these, then I'm going to cast on for the front and the back, and the two fronts and the one back. It's called three rectangles, 2 triangles, and sweater pattern. Here's a picture of it, and I don't even have my iPad with me. I forgot it. And then the other thing, I was reminded that my poor long-suffering sister-in-law, over a year ago, I gave her this quilt top and said, I finished this quilt top. You help me hold it up. And it's literally been looking at me for a year, and I keep looking at it, and like, I have to get the supplies to finally back it and quilt it. And with the very sad demise of Joanne's, I'm planning on going today and getting the stuff to back it. So this is a t-shirt quilt that I made for her a year ago. I'm so sorry, Rachel, it's taken me all this time. But it's my mother-in-law's shirts. She picked out 12 of the ones that meant the most to her. And see, there's Baltimore Ravens. And I
was wondering what the panels were.
Yeah. See, this one says 1 fish, 2 fish, 3 fish, gefilte fish. Yeah, it's great. It's great. And so and yeah. And I sashed it and edged it with this green. I still have the green left for the binding. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I put these Rachel loves sunflowers, so I put these little sunflower. Look at that! Isn't that cute?
Have you seen the sunflower that's on a chair in the front yard over here at the corner?
On the corner.
Yeah, it's so cute.
But I really like the sashing little, what are those called? Coins or whatever they're called? The sunflowers, and then I put sunflowers in the corners. So, cornerstones, that's what they're called. So today, as I'm sure most of you have heard, Joann's is closing many stores across the country. Apparently, they're still going to be. I opened the app today, and they're like, "We're still going to be online." So that's good.
That's what I thought, that they would switch to an online store. That's what. Who was it? They switched to online, and I think they're still thriving online.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to go there today and get batting. And one of the things that one of the problems, well, besides my distractibility, is that I look at it and I'm like, oh, I've got to get X, Y, and Z to finish that quilt. And then I run on my way. So I'm not going to do that anymore, and I'm going to get the stuff today. I usually actually use flat sheets for the
back.
For the back. You can use fabric, but I think sheets, because they're already just kind of a comfortable fabric. I just buy a twin flat sheet or a full flat sheet or whatever size, and use that as the backing. And it's, at least I've noticed, I've found it to be
I
really
think that works
comfortable.
really well, and sheets
Yeah.
are usually very soft and comfortable.
And they're durable, and you don't have to sew them down the middle or anything. So
one of the
that's
ones
one of
I
my
have
secrets.
in process, I sewed it down the middle, I think maybe hers. And it was just,
A nightmare.
it was a nightmare, because you gotta get that seam straight.
Because you gotta, when you go to sandwich it, it has to
Yeah,
be straight.
that's what I mean,
So
yeah.
that's why I just use a big flat sheet, because a queen size or king size or even the twin flat sheet is wider than a twin bed, longer than a twin, because when
Yeah.
you make the bed.
Yeah.
So when you have a queen size quilt and you buy a queen size flat sheet, it's bigger, and so it works out very, very well. So I'm gonna get a twin size flat sheet, and then today I'm gonna get the batting. That's the thing I've been needing, and I'm like, I gotta go get that. So now that Joanne's has given me opportunity to get it.
That's what I said, if I had the money, I'd be over there buying fabric by the
Yeah,
bolt.
that's this morning I was like, honey, can I have a budget to go to Joanne's? So I'm gonna do that today and then get this done. Rachel, look me in my eyes. I'd be so sorry it's taken me so long to give you this book.
The one thing I was wanting from Joanne's is more of that. I think that's where I got the tea-dyed Carolina linen, the DMC Carolina
Well,
linen.
when I was there, so for my boss's birthday was 2 days ago, and she's seen me cross stitch this pattern, and she's been like, I wish I had something like that to do in the car, like something, So it's like, all right, because I've tried to teach her to knit, and she's so busy that's kind of hard. And so I went to Joann's with the mind of buying little cross stitch kits. And when I went there, their cross stitch needlepoint stuff was gone. It was decimated. It was not
Joann's.
kind of like not
And
necessarily.
Hobby Lobby,
like
the
they were-
first thing they did was sell off the kits.
Well, but at Hobby, so I couldn't find what I wanted there.
Yeah.
So Eli and I went across the street to Hobby Lobby, and we found two little starter beginning kits. One was a kitty, one was some flowers, little tiny kits like that. And I got her, needles and scissors and a little bag. So they had all the cute stuff, and they had little kits at Joanne. So I don't think Joann's was like already selling stuff off, but I think they're just not replenishing what they had. But I am gonna go, and I think I'm gonna try to see what their boutiques are selling for, because I use boutiques a lot and I like them. So I'm like, I want to buy. I was thinking about that as I was getting ready. I'm like, if I have a pot of money, and I want to buy fabric, what am I going to buy?
I can't even imagine what the cutting line is going to look like.
Well, whatever.
But sometimes it's worth it.
Yeah, and what the saddest thing about it is, I buy fabric from Missouri Star Quilt Company all the time.
But you have to wait for it to come.
That's
and you
fine.
Can't see
That's
it in
fine.
person.
What
you
I'm
can't
trying
see
to
it
say,
and feel it in person.
But what I'm trying to say is, I don't mind that. I've been very happy buying fabric like that, quilting fabric online with them. What I don't want to buy online, and what I'm really upset about with Joann's closing, is actually the dress fabric. Because I make a lot of dresses for Hannah. I make a lot of things like that. And that I don't want to buy online without feeling it. You know what I mean? Like, what is the drape like? What is it, and so I'm sad about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that is me. Eve's going next, I think.
I'm going next. Right now, I'm about to throw this project across the room. So if something hits the
camera, you'll understand why.
So, as you recall, a little while ago, I laced these. They're laced, they're not glued. It's sticky board, but that's because I knew if I bought sticky board, I would have options. But I laced it because
I don't remember you talking about that here.
about it being laced. I talked about these.
No,
Yes, I did.
maybe, but I don't remember seeing.
Anyway,
those.
I laced it because
Maybe.
I don't have interfacing here and I didn't want to go buy any, and I don't want to use sticky board directly on stitch fabric. So that being said, I borrowed Naomi's cutting thingy and cut the front and the back, and I laced this as we were sitting here. I may have started it before we started the camera, but not really an issue, right? I have the back and I have this. Every time I tried to get it to start, it would do this.
It would twist sideways.
Oh yeah, it was just like, it was like it was telling me, I'm not really feeling it.
What it was telling you was use sticky board.
Yeah.
So
I'm afraid to use sticky board. I mean, it is already sticky board. I'm
I was
just
going to
scared.
say, isn't that why?
And here's the roof,
Why are you afraid to use sticky board?
because I don't have interfacing here. And if I should want to slightly reposition it, I could pull the stitches out.
I see.
So I may end up just sticking it because it certainly looks better than crooked.
Do you need interfacing?
Maybe.
I have a ton of interfacing.
I know. I just wasn't wanting to. Anyway.
We live 10
That's
minutes apart from
theoretically
each
what
other,
it-
and she's like, it's too far.
No, you're just never home. Ever.
I was home last night.
So it's supposed to look like this. Mine is not going to look like this because I want to put this or something similar in it. And this, you have to be very quiet.
Hold it up to the mic.
It's Silent Night music box. Anyway,
Now it's louder.
yeah, it's leaning on the table.
The little handle.
Now you can hear it. It needs resonance.
Anyway, I was trying to figure out how to do it, and everything I was thinking of, I was like, I'll eventually figure out what I want, or I'll take her suggestion and get one of those little push-button electronic ones. I'm kind of old school because I didn't even think about those things. And I finished cross-stitching for, oh, by the way, that gingerbread house is Tiny Optimist. I finished cross-stitching for fun their Happy Valentine's Day ornament. I posted it on their Facebook page. They both said, beautiful, interesting thread choice. And I said, I don't really do pink. I said, but I liked the pattern. Anyway, I sewed little roses to it, and it has rickrack on the side that is iridescent. And this didn't really go with it, but it was the only thing I could find that was similar. I was at Joann's, had I known. No. I wanted to finish it before Valentine's Day I gave it to my son's girlfriend, and she loves it.
And then you stole it back.
And then I stole it back so I could show you. I think I was going to make some pins to go in here, and I could not find a way to stick it, and I forgot to get glue when I was getting everything else, so
But you did sew on the rickrack and you just made a
I
little
sewed
bow.
on everything, yeah. And you know what?
You sewed it by hand?
Yeah. You don't realize certain things that you don't even think about when you're at the store, like interfacing or glue, because you're used to having it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, in theory, I am going to start working on this today. I even brought my tablet to start working on it. This is only a theory because this is also cross-stitching for fun. This is Art Deco Spring. I told you I was going to print a new one because this one's all raggedy, but I probably won't. But the reason I'm hesitating to work on that, and the whole point in my picking 2 projects a month to concentrate on, is I wanted to get these out of my WIP pile and into my finished pile. And it worked for the Happy Valentine's Day ornament. It did not work for this one yet. This is Cute Boots by, it's designed by Joe Gattenby for X's and O's.
Was it a kit or just a pen?
No, it was just a pattern. I got it at 123 Stitch, and they let you just click on a thing to add all the threads.
Oh, I see.
And that's what I did on this one. Anyway, it's not finished, but it's very close. Look, Naomi.
Oh, wow.
I have a little bit more, I got sick of blue, so I got a little bit more blue done here. And I did the back stitching, not all of it, because there's blue right here, around this foot, the rest of this face, and I just have back stitching on this boot and the rest of this, and then of course the words. But I want to finish that too. I used a day up of the Valentine ornament, starting that hedgehog. So technically, I don't not have to work on that one until tomorrow. Technically.
Had you started the hedgehog last week? Last week I think you said you weren't going to start it and you were debating. So you decided to go ahead and start
I
it.
didn't show it started, did I?
No. No, because you last week you had it and you're like, I shouldn't start this, but I really want to start it. But I shouldn't start it. She left us every week. Every week she just leaves us. She just leaves us high and dry.
Lost.
Like in, what is it, in Jurassic Park? She left us. She left us. Of course, she went off, and it was right there the whole time.
So,
But you got to hear us be silly, so that's fun.
yeah. Okay, so where's the front? This is a rollless pattern, which I had never worked on before. And I saw them, they are much loved by Seashore Stitchers, say that fast 3 times. And I picked another cute one, hedgehog. And it was so adorable. I was just like, oh, I have to start on this. But I want you to see what you get, not just the pattern and instructions.
So was that a kit?
Mm-hmm. But the fabric, not going to show you, I'm going to show you what I did, but the fabric, paraphernalia, and the threads come on these cool cards.
Mm-hmm.
They're so easy to take off of here.
Yes, sir.
And they're not ply, so you just take it off and you stitch with it as is.
You just cut a length.
Uh-huh. And you just stitch with it as
And
is.
you said this is wool?
It's a wool acrylic blend.
Nice.
And it really is a little bit thicker than
Your face. Oh, I see. That's nice. It's kind of like
poofy.
poofy.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Anyway, here's my start.
So
Isn't he
cute.
adorable?
Face.
It took every bit of my self-control to put it down and go back to the ornament, because I'm like, oh, I want to finish it. But I have so many other things I want to finish, and I have to say I'm very happy with this kit. I got it on Amazon. I'm sure there's other distributors of their patterns. Part of me is like, I think I know how I want to finish it. But in my concentration thing, there's another one that's hedgehog. Do you remember that hedgehog pattern that I had?
I think so.
Yeah, I put that as one of the new starts, and I was like, I wonder how they would work together. Because I have fabric kind of like that fabric, so I could start it on something like that. But anyway, so there is that. I can't believe that was just this past week that I started it.
Yeah. Because, you were sitting at my house last weekend and you were like, I don't know if I should start it yet.
So I finished that. I almost finished the cute boots. I started that. What the heck have I been doing other than this? So you remember I had to fix my Under the Sea cross stitch by me. Apparently I still can't count even when I design the pattern myself. I'm not
It's
quite.
a theme, Eve. It's a theme.
I'm not quite done. I have 5 more days to put in from January. I'm still better off than her snakes.
Yes, my snakes are behind. I walked into Hannah's room, my craft room. I have to just start thinking of it, really. It's my craft room. Anyway, I walked in and I was like, to get my stuff to come here this morning, and I was like, my snakes! Because I'd forgotten all about it. My snakes!
What I do is I pick a day that I work on it that day.
Yeah.
And so I finished a few of these days last time because I was like, I got to finish it. And then I said, no, I'll work on them on Friday. And if they're not finished, so what? And next Friday, I'll get the other 5 of these through. And of course, another week over here. But I'm liking the way this looks. But one of the things I noticed when I was redoing all of these fish is that 90% of them are the same color.
Don't worry. You'll get a new color next week. It's going to be 90.
Yeah.
Next
It was so
week.
cold. It was so cold yesterday, not because the temperature was cold, but there was an evil wind blowing. And
the other day I texted, I messaged our CEO and I was like, can you do something? You're a CEO. Can't you do something about this cold weather? I was getting used to the 70s. Hello?
yeah, it was, hi, sweetheart. I already let you go out. What else do you want?
Doggone.
This past week, it was 63 degrees, but not yesterday. Yesterday was 72, but I was colder yesterday. I came home and I made myself some hot tea. I put on booties. I was freezing. I got out a blanket and just like, I was so cold. And it's the wind that was making it cold. But there is one other thing that I've been working on it for a couple of weeks, but I work on it, no, maybe just a week. I work on it at night after I've gone to my room if I can't sleep. I went to Joann's for something, and they had yarn on sale, and I bought this little yarn. Because I had, and of course, I bought a very inexpensive, yes, I know you have crochet hooks. Crochet hook. You may remember that I did this dog, which
Yeah.
Peyton tells me is coming apart again.
Oh, no.
And it has to be the chenille.
The chenille yarn.
Yeah, I remember my mom had a chenille bedspread and it would flake off the chenille. But I decided to start this little dude. I bought it at the same time.
Oh. Was it like a ferret or
It's a
fennec
fox.
White fox.
It's a fox. And I haven't gotten, you know, like I said, when was it, a week ago that I bought this? Maybe a week and a half, I don't know. I haven't gotten super far on it, because like I said, in my bedroom at night if I
It's your
can't sleep.
insomnia project.
Yeah, and I just work on it for a little while. This is right side up. This is his little,
sombrero.
this is his little face. His eyes are gonna go right here.
Yeah.
Look at
Do
his
you
little
need?
nose.
Do you have eyes, or are they sewn eyes?
I have eyes.
Oh, okay.
I bought eyes. See?
I have a giant pack of eyes.
Had I known, I could get them at a discount today.
Darn that Joann's.
But you
Leaving
know,
us high and dry.
honestly, I don't begrudge them making every penny they can before. I knew that they were in trouble, and honestly, if all the people that were going over there to spend money there would have gone regularly to spend money, they wouldn't be in this predicament.
Maybe. You never
But
know. You never know.
after COVID, people just got used to buying stuff online. You know, and that all of that inventory of theirs. Anyway, that's me.
Okay. I was gonna say, the other day, when I was killing time at Walmart, I was,
I dropped her off at Walmart and then went to go teach a class and then went back and got her.
because I had to get some prescriptions and stuff, and so I was just, driving around looking at,
Sorry,
looking at
dog.
stuff.
I kicked your
And,
dog. It's her fault.
But so I went like down the craft aisle, I was just looking at what they had or whatever. And one of the things they had was some little like kind of amigurumi kits, whatever, those little crochet
Amigurumi, yeah.
And so
And you were like, oh, I want this for Eve to make for me.
well, I thought, can I learn how to crochet? They're so cute. They had a little octopus.
You did not have that thought.
No, I did. Very briefly, but I had but because I was looking at it like, well, how complicated is that? How long, But there was one that was a little octopus, and it comes with like the yarn.
Was it Woobles or was it a generic brand?
It was a generic brand.
Okay.
Because it came.
This was
but
Walmart.
It came with a little a little
like
sewing
Joanne
needle.
sells Woobles.
It came with a little
know.
sewing needle, and it came with
Crochet hook?
some, I guess, like thread, like to make the face, the eyes and the mouth or whatever. But they had an octopus. They had a little the T-Rex, a little tiny T-Rex. They had a frog, and they had something else. But yeah, they were just like it was a little plastic pouch with the yarn.
Oh, okay.
But it had a crochet hook in it and things like that.
Well, so if you want to do that, I would suggest to get a Woobles kit because 2 reasons. 3 reasons.
But I like the T-Rex.
I know, but
and
they
I like the
have.
frog.
You should go on Woobles.
They
and
have
see.
so
They have so
many,
many. Now
yeah.
the problem with Woobles, in my opinion, they are very expensive. However, you get which is the most valuable thing and the thing that I think everyone should pay for if you're going to pay for something like that. It's already started.
Yeah.
Because that's the hardest part. The little circle is started and the hook is in a loop. That's how it comes in the back. So you just go from there. Now, because the starting is the hard part and they recognize that. So this is like a learn to crochet whole French, like it's a whole business, but and they have the cutest things. They have all kinds of themed things, and you can start with like the simple thing, and
But they are very expensive.
they're expensive. But the other thing that is so good about them is that the yarn, it's a blown or a tubular yarn, so it doesn't split. So you can't split your stitches or hook half the, like a lot of times when you get a thing, you wind up hooking one ply and pulling it through.
And that, honestly, when you do that, you probably can keep going, but it makes it really hard to count your stitches.
Yeah. So anyway, the type of yarn, because I
was wondering about that because I know you talked about how crappy yarn or whatever.
Yeah, because if it's cheap yarn, it makes it harder almost. Yeah. Red Heart is Red Heart. But even making these from Red Heart, Flosstube is, but it's because it's acrylic and it just, I don't know, it's hard and it doesn't slide well. But that Woobles yarn, for whatever reason, they chose that yarn and it's really good. The only reason I have one is because Amazon sent me one randomly. I was like, Mark, why did this come in the box? He's like, I have no idea. I was like, okay. So that's when I made that little hedgehog for those kids, and I was like, dang, this is cool. So if you want to do that and you want to do a first time, I would suggest a Woobles.
Yeah, I was, like I said,
once you've been crocheting, you can get a kit like that and be like, oh, okay, I can deal with that.
Yeah, and you get mad and throw it for a few times, and then you're like, okay, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. But anyway, so I was tempted for a moment, but then
then
of
you
course
came to your senses.
Yeah. Well, of course I wasn't. I was not intending to spend money I didn't have, and I again, like I said, I was wary because I knew you guys had talked about, the bad yarn and stuff like that and cheap yarn. I don't know anything about that, so, But anyway, so yeah, I saw those, and I was very enamored of the Tiny the T-Rex, they called it. And I can't remember what the name of the frog was. Yeah. But anyway, they had these little kits.
So are you done?
Yeah, she's done.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why she started talking.
Yeah. So last week I had the bald eagle, and I just did a little bit more stitching because I was like partway through these little black lines down here on the wing, in the lower part of the wing, and I had not done this other left wing yet. But I was in the middle of these black lines, so I went ahead and finished them just because then I'm done with the black on this project. So I worked a little bit more, on the bald eagle, even though I had met my 7-day goal, whatever. But yeah,
shocking.
So it really it doesn't have technically that much to do. Like there's a couple more little trees down here, and then this wing was just very complicated stitching, the other wing and the body. And then there's a gigantic tree that that runs the whole length of the design, and that is the other complicated part of that design. But anyway, this is Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Woods series. This is the Bald Eagle, which is number 7, I think. Yeah, number 7 of that series. So that was my WIP-GO project. And then the other one for that same number was a new start, was the Snow Angel. This is by Twin Peak Primitives. And this is a little freebie they had. I don't know, I think they may have had it on their website or something where I got it from. It's a little PDF that I printed off. And I was just looking at it, there's like a water spot, so they ink smooth. It's probably my cat dripping on it or something. But anyway,
or all your
you could drip on it.
Yeah, it could have been. But I try not to do that. But Snug will get up on the bed and has water on his chin right here. And he's like, "Oh, do I have a napkin?" I got to clean his face. But anyway, so on this one, all I have left really are these little stars around here. That just a few stitches of white, and then all the white of his body, and then the words on the bottom. Excuse me. But so I just got like a wild hair and started on it, and because I thought, because I had read the 7 days, and I thought, well, okay, I can do the bear. This is my next WIP-GO project, but I just didn't feel like doing another big thing like that. So I thought, well, I'll just do my new start, right? And and so this is the back. Sorry.
Pretty back.
This is the front. So I started just working like on the middle. I started with the buttons here, and then I started doing the white. And I think I went over to one edge and started doing one of the wings, because I wanted to do the cardinal and all the stuff, And so I just, got going. And then I realized when I came back down here, I was doing this bow on his neck. And I did this side where the cardinal was, or this side. And I started the bow, and I went up when I was doing this one color in here. I started doing it, and I, counted off of the button, and I went up, and when I did the other side, it was like, wait, it's not coming out right. And I realized that the buttons, I had made them 1 stitch longer than they're supposed to be. Instead of doing like 3 across
the one that was couldn't count.
Instead of doing 3 across the top, I did 4. So all the buttons were the same, but they were all wrong by one stitch. So I stopped right there and took the thread out. And fortunately, I was able to just like keep using the thread, and I just redid the buttons. And so I added a white stitch, but it meant the wing on this side was, the white was 1 stitch too long, but I didn't want to undo it because it's, I had done out and back kind of stitching and all that, and so I just stitched over it with this tan color of the wings. So there's, like, if you look closely at it, there's like a little bit of a weird, lumpy weirdness, where I stitched over it, but at first glance you can't see it. But I was thinking, when I started this, I was thinking, oh, that would be a nice little ornament, because I'm doing those quirky Christmas ornaments, and they're various sizes, but they're not very big. But when I started doing this, I looked at it and like, that's a little big for an ornament. Yeah. So I'm probably going to do some kind of a Christmas pillow or something, when I finish it. But really, all I have left to do is, like I said, there's a few random little like snowdrop kind of things, and then the rest of the body, and then the word hope goes across the bottom. But otherwise, I did everything else. I did that little halo and the nose and the eyes and the bow and the cardinals and all that, and the wings. So all that's left is just like rows and rows and rows of white, and then the words on the bottom. But that was about a week's worth of stitching. This is 30 count fabric that I got at the attic. They had just some scraps, and so I got those. I saw really good. Somebody had posted on Valentine's Day, I guess yesterday. They posted an interview that they had done with Jean from the attic last year, I think. They had.
She's the one that passed away?
Yeah. Somebody had done an interview with her at the Stitch Symposium or whatever it's called. And they just, talking about how she ended up buying the attic and how she got started stitching and this and that and the other. But so, yeah, they reposted it. It was really nice to see the thing. But anyway, that's where I got this fabric. They had a little basket of scraps that particular day. And this is 30 count, some kind of linen. And it doesn't say like, who dyed it or where it's from. But anyway, so that was I like that, the contrast on that. It looks really good on there, so. That was that one. And then, I'm gonna take this off so you can see it a little better. So then I started on the bear. I think I started on it just, today's Saturday, Thursday, I guess. Here. So I had, when I worked on it before, I had started on the bear here. And then I had done a little bit of these little fronds and cattails over here. So I started with, there's sort of a lighter green color on these cattails, like the top of the cattail and then the stalk. And so I finished this lighter green color. There's one more green color that goes in these fronds. But I did the stem and the little curly Q in this lighter green color. And this is almost the bottom. There's another green color that goes along, that's, goes in these fronds that makes the actual bottom of this green curly Q, and that's the bottom of the picture. So, like I said, I did a lot of work on this green frond, and right now I'm working on the cabin here, because I have some weird obsession about doing all the cabins. This is also Cottage Garden Samplings, Year of the Woods. The bear is number, I don't know what, 6. Yeah. And actually, I need to make a working copy of this because I don't want to, destroy it. Yeah. And but one thing that I did, because at some point I took the threads out of the thing because I won't use them on various other projects, and so I'm tracking out threads because each of these projects comes with like a couple of fancy floss colors. And then a bunch of DMC, the rest are DMC colors. And I had taken all the DMC out of here. I had and actually one of the fancy flosses too, because I used it on like the bald eagle, I think. And I was like, there's nothing in here. none of the right colors or anything. But fortunately, I had them all because they are in other projects.
So a floss tube that I watch, I was like, you're way too organized. Because she has, her husband bought her that DMC
drawer thing,
right?
Mm-hmm.
But she has everything bobbinated, and she has more expensive bobbins of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then if she's going to take something out of there, she writes the name of it on a cardboard bobbin
mm-hmm.
and sticks it in the hole
mm-hmm.
and what project it was going to go in.
Yeah.
And I was like, that would make it too easy for me. Where would all my excitement go?
Yeah, that's like
Where would all my, what would I be mad at this week if I?
Yeah, I have what I call the box of shame, which is a cardboard box, and like a lot of times.
Oh my God.
A lot of times when I finish a project and I have like a whole bunch of the threads, I just throw them in that box because I'm very lazy about. I have like 5 plastic boxes for my bobbinated DMC threads. I have these like larger bins for my fancy floss. I have like one for the Weeks Dye Works and one for the Color and Cotton, and one for Gentle Arts, and I have some of those flexible screw together rings that I've gotten mine off of Amazon, and so I have those. They're sort of alphabetical and they're very organized. But the DMC, I have those 5 boxes, but rather than putting them in the boxes the way they're supposed to be, they're just in the box of shame. I just I just throw them in there. So when I'm looking for DMC threads for whatever, I had to go through that box. I'm like, and there's like a whole bunch in there. And I'm like, if I would just put them away, it would be so much better. But that would make so much more sense. And like my dad always just say, I made a mistake and put them away. So yeah, so instead I sit there with the box of shame, going through all the boxes trying to find anything. Yeah. So anyway, but I think that is me.
What did Mom always say? El flojo?
Yeah, flojo trabaja doble. The lazy one works double.
Okay, I'm working triple.
And like all the time. Like,
I couldn't find
you're so right.
something that was right here. Okay.
Well, that's what, like, I was thinking about that when the other day, we were cleaning the house because they were going to take pictures and everything, you know, so we were straightening up and putting things away, and I was trying to think, what do I want to do now so that the day of, I'm not, you know, dying
Your
and killing
future
myself.
self.
Yeah, and so I'm like,
Be kind to your future
I thought, well,
self.
you know, I don't want to like mop because the cats are going to walk on the floor and track stuff all, you know. So I'm like trying to like, okay, how much I can put this away, I can throw that away, I can straighten up this, and I can do that.
The one thing I did last week, and I'm so proud of myself, is I went through my sock drawer and I completely organized it. I threw away the socks that I don't like. Remember, I said to the picture, I'm throwing these away. I am not making dust rags out of them. Repeat, I am not making dust. My mother would not throw anything away. And she would, that sock, that'll be a good dust rag. And she's probably right. She was probably 100% right, but I'm like, I ain't throwing these away. I'm declaring my freedom
She
from
said
sock guilt.
one time that when Robert was little, that she threw away a pair of socks that were like worn out or something like that, when she threw them away. And he was scandalized because he found socks in the trash.
Sometimes I walk it, you know. Yeah, some things just have to go in the trash. Okay, but
I always think of that show Hoarders that used to be on, or you know, I used to watch. That there was a woman once who had like a grocery bag full of those little orange like pill bottles that you get, you know,
like
at the pharmacy.
One.
Yeah, like that. But
you're using it.
I know, yes, I'm using it. But she had a whole bag of them, and the therapist or whatever was asking her, you know, what are these for? And she said,
for my little threads.
She said that she goes, well, you know, I think that if someone were, you know, could use them for beads, if they're doing beading, they have, you know, they could put all their beads in there. And so they asked her, well, do you know somebody who does? No, I don't know anybody who does beading, but they're good. And so and so I always think, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that because I'm very tempted because I use these. Yeah, so every time I run out of you know, pills and I have an empty one, I'm like, just throw it away, just throw it away, just throw it away.
Recycle it.
I don't
whatever.
do that.
Anyway, no, I know it's that's so hard. That's
very hard because
it's not logical.
Yeah, it's a perfectly good container.
It's also
kind of thing,
not the way we were brought up.
Yeah,
So
because that's what I was thinking with boxes. And it's like, it's a perfectly good thing. Do I need this for anything?
Well, you should see every time we come home from Costco, Mark's like, man, that's a really good, because they give you those trays, you know, that they put the products in, and they send you home with it.
Jerry
It's like,
Seinfeld did a thing like about, do you need that box? It's a really good, that you get like that when you're moving.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay, so
now we're at question of the week time. Last week our question of the week was some Super Bowl yes or no. Most of you were no's, which is totally fine. There were a few that were yes, I love football, and my team won, and it was almost a blowout.
I have no idea who was playing and who won.
Well, anyway, the Eagles won, and it was good. So it was a good game, but yeah. So now our new question is: when you start, do you use
special day starts?
Do you take part in special day starts? So like a Valentine's Day start, or a President's Day start,
or a birthday start,
or Christmas, or whatever, like
some holiday, you know.
Use holiday to like
special day.
New Year's Day start.
Yeah, to plan ahead and say on this holiday for this reason I'm going to start my project, whether it's apropos to the holiday or not. Do you do those? I don't. I'm random. I just do whatever comes across my little mind at whatever time.
But you know, I was thinking about that because Valentine's Day and is it President's Day?
President's Day is Monday. Yeah.
And so, you know, like, you know, I thought, do I have anything that would be appropriate to start on Valentine's Day? Just, you know, just as a, you know, an excuse to start something, whatever. And I thought, no, I don't really.
You already have 1,000 million things you're doing.
But like, yeah, like, so I have another new start that's just, you know, for the WIP-GO board. So I have new starts in there, and so I thought, well, do I want to, you know, start?
But you do things like Mania or
yeah,
or
to
you
a
have in the
degree,
past.
yeah. I do it like a lot of times modified Mania, because when I started watching YouTube or whatever, a lot of people would do like Mania. They would do a new start every day of May, so they would do 31 new starts.
Oh my gosh.
And I think I did something similar, or maybe I did
I thought
30,
you did something like
the whole
that.
month like that a couple of years ago. But usually I would do something like a modified like ship Mania, because I have like 4 ship patterns, so I would do a week on each
Yeah, I
pattern.
remember you did that.
But that was before I started doing WIP-GO.
So,
Now I'm
Anyway,
excited
let us know.
Yeah. So do you do that? Do you have special projects and special days that you start?
Like, how many of you did a New Year's Day new start?
Yeah.
How many of you are doing 25 and 25?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
And so are you ready? Yeah.
But honestly, it'll probably be 28.
I'm trying to finish 25 things in 25.
I was just talking to Beth about, I have all my projects in Thread Stash, and it said, you have 85 projects. And I went, 85. And I went down and read, and you know, it says that whether you've started them or not.
Yeah.
Okay. And I looked at all the ones that were in progress, and some of those, like, do you remember in Burberry, I did the snowman berry, right? Well, there's a smaller linen berry that is some incredibly small count. And I was like, I am never going to do that.
Right.
Why? You know, I told myself, oh, well, I'll stitch it one thread on 30. No, I won't. No, I won't.
Yeah.
Say you are.
I have 153 projects.
I'm like, tell it you're finished.
Yeah.
And if I decide I want to do that, I can enter it again.
Right.
Yeah.
Clear it out.
But
Clear
like
your sock drawer.
But like do you remember the Hanukkah project I did for Mark that I finished it, but I want to do the berry. So it still is in progress.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that with that one. But Burberry, and there's another one that has one like that. I'm like, if I decide to do that,
Right.
I know where the pattern is, and I can just put it back in.
Right.
But why am I doing
Well,
that?
I have so many WIPs. So there's a knitter that I follow. She does finish it February, and all her people like on her Ravelry group, they participate in finish it February. And I never have like officially, but I guess I'm kind of right. I'm kind of there right now. I'm like, I need to finish. I need to get these things done. So, but of course I started a new sweater project. But that's okay. You know what? I've decided that actually 2025, instead of starting new starts or finishing everything, I am going to do what I want to do and release myself of guilt.
Yeah,
I am not going to feel guilty over all my bags full of yarn and projects. Every once in a
So
while,
those snakes are just going to stare sadly
no, they're
at
not
you?
going to stare silently. They're going to be, no, I'm just saying I'm not going to feel guilty. I'm not going to say, oh, you haven't done that. Like in my mind, I torture myself, you know,
There's an acronym that some people use called, I can never say it right, but it's stitch what I want when I want.
Right. No,
Yeah,
I know.
sweetie or whatever.
I know, but
So
and that's fine if it's all
so
for you. My problem is that I wind up doing things for other people, and then they sit for a year. Hence the quote. So my goal in 2025 is to finish what I can, but stop feeling, and also just do what I want, and stop feeling guilty about it. Obviously, and that's one of the things that Roxanne Richardson, who does Finish in February, one of the things she talks about is part of her February evaluation is, why has this sat here for a year?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it didn't excite me enough to make me, and she gives herself permission. She's like, I know that I'm going to work on a project for 2 weeks and then I'm going to get sick of it. So she kind of plans, like, you know, like, and she doesn't say if it's longer than, you know, if it takes longer than 2 weeks, I'm not going to finish it. She just says, I've got to put that away for a while. And, you know, and she's kind of a thing, like she always has socks on or whatever. But I like that she really knows herself and gives herself permission to be herself and to be like, you know, but then if I pick it back up and I'm like, no, I hate this, or it's not the right color, or I don't like this pattern, or whatever, she gives herself permission to be like, all right, just let it go.
My mother-in-law used to say, how can you keep starting new things if you haven't finished the other one? I'm like,
Yeah.
because I want to.
Yeah.
You
Some
know,
people
I'm
are-
not doing it for a job. I'm doing it
Right.
because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Some people are monogamous and then they don't feel comfortable unless they finish the one thing that they're working on. And I kind of envy those people because okay, so sometimes I don't have, because I feel like if you're like that, you work on this project till it's done, and then you have clarity, and you're like, okay, what do I want to do next? And I'm always like, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to start that, I want to start that, I want to start that. And then I have chaos in my mind.
Well,
So-
I was going to say that I think I am at heart a monogamous stitcher.
You
But-
are a liar.
No, let me finish. I am at heart a monogamous stitcher because once I pick up something to work on, like for WIP-GO, you know, I have my goal set for 7 days. I work nonstop on that thing. Instead of saying like, oh, I could work like part of the day on this thing and part of the day on that thing and do, you know, whatever my goals, you know, for each one. That instead of doing that, you know, it's like some people do, like, oh, every Monday I'm going to work on this, and every Friday I'm going to work on that, and then in between I'm going to work on whatever. And that kind of thing, I can't do very, very easily. And so usually I will, like I said, if I've got 7 days to work on this thing, I'm 7 days, that's the only thing I'm working on, whatever. So in a way, it satisfies my monogamous itch, and at the same time, because my goal is only 7 days, then I still have, you know, the rest of the month to do other things. That's why I have to
If
do
you didn't
those.
have WIP-GO to organize yourself, would you just,
I would probably.
would you still, like, that's, I'm curious, like,
Yeah.
I remember when I started WIP-GO before she did, and I remember that she didn't get as much done until she did WIP-GO because it helps her organize her thoughts as to what she wants to work on.
Yeah, because for me, the hard thing is deciding what I'm going to work on,
so
and
you
what
like,
I have.
you like having WIP-GO to tell you what to
Right.
work on.
Yeah, because WIP-GO, then, you know, they announce the numbers, and I was like, okay, I'm going to work on these, and there are
Because
some
you're a
things.
tree trunk.
Huh? Yeah.
Because you're a tree trunk.
And there are some things that, you know, that I have in my
You do
WIP-GO
better
list.
with boundaries and
Yeah,
rules.
that there are some things that maybe I want to work on less than other things, but there are some things that I'm like, oh yay, I want to work on that. And then when I hit the 7 days, I'm like, but I'm not done, you know. And but the structure of WIP-GO helps me because it takes the decision out of my hands.
So
and it just says,
here's
you work on
here's
this.
my problem, and it shows you all the problems that I have in life in general. I tried WIP-GO for a year, and every time they'd call those numbers, I'm like, meh, I don't want to do that. I want to do this instead. So it like did I just like had no it didn't have any hold over me. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Well, when
Just
I
random.
set up WIP-GO, I set it up with new starts, and I don't care about which one I start. I put on there only things I wanted to start.
Yeah.
And then the hedgehog came in. But it wasn't working for me as much for just getting things done. And that's why I put, I'm going to concentrate on this, I'm going to concentrate on that, because those are projects that I really wanted to just get done.
Right.
And Cute Boots, I've stretched it, and, you know, because it was last month's thing, but the whole idea is to give me, you're going to work on this, right? And so if I don't work on the other one as much as I had planned, that's okay, because it's my decision.
Right.
Well, and a lot of people do use WIP-GO as like, for one thing, it's like you started that month, but you have the whole year to finish it. But other people have WIP-GO as like, instead of a specific project, they'll put like maybe an element, like, you know, something that has snow in it or something, whatever. But so that they can pick any of their, but they can pick any of the projects that matches that prompt or whatever. You know?
I see.
So, but you know, but it helps for me. One thing that I have looked at, and part of it is it's weird now because everything is in, you know, so many things are in storage, but like looking at something and say, do I really like this? Do I want to do it? Whatever.
Giving yourself permission to not do it.
To take it off the list. And like one of the things that I was doing was before, like, well, this year and last year, you know, because I had like a whole set of what I call my old school WIPs, like my ships and other things that are sort of bigger projects that I had on that WIP-GO board so that I could finish them, you know, whatever. And part of it was like really, really old things, like my old man sampler and things like that I've had since I started stitching, basically, for years. And so I got a lot of those done, and that helped me a lot. And I had my FFOs on my WIP-GO board. And
that was good for you that year. That was good for you.
Yeah.
Except that she's so single-minded that, oh, I haven't finished those, and she'd be there until like 1 o'clock in the morning because it was supposed to be finished that month.
But anyway, so
a goal is a goal is a goal.
Yeah, and so it helps me to, because I have so many WIPs and so many projects. It helps me with like putting my new starts on my WIP-GO board this year, along with my existing WIPs. But like, so I have my old school WIPs, and I just decided last year, I guess, when I was going to make my WIP-GO board for 2024, to do because I had a whole bunch of new starts. Mm-hmm. And so I said, okay, I'm going to put my old WIPs aside and do these new projects that had, like, you know, a handful of stitches in them. I'm going to put those on the WIP-GO board, and that way I can, you know, get more progress on those new projects. Yeah. And so it helps me just like not have to make the decision, because the decision is made for me. Yeah. And then I can devote my energy to more progress on that project.
I would like to segue into stories. Because I have 3. Okay, and the first one I shall call toothpaste.
Toothpaste.
When I ran out of shampoo, I picked some that I thought, because I have to be careful of what I'm going to use, that it doesn't cause my whole scalp to itch constantly. And I picked something that I thought would be usable. And I kind of sort of paid attention to what the scent was, in that I didn't want, you know, something I hated. But other than that, I didn't really think about it. And I went to wash my hair yesterday, and I'm like, I'm putting toothpaste on my hair. It smelled just like toothpaste. It smelled like minty fresh toothpaste.
Oh, how funny.
And I was like, so when people smell me walking by, are they going to think, does she bathe in toothpaste? I was like, what the heck did I do?
Hannah bought some like natural like soap, like it was like a cleaner for everything, like a soap, like a bath soap and a shampoo, and you could clean your bathroom with it. like literally, like some cream. I'm like, and so I was at her house and I and it smelled like, I don't want to say pine sol, but like something like that.
Lysol.
It was like a very natural soap, and like you could use it everywhere. You could use it on your hair, you could use it on your body soap, and you could use it, literally to clean, whatever. And I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it.
So the second story I shall call Shamrock.
Okay.
Okay.
We have to title our stories now?
Yes.
I didn't think of a title. Okay, I'll have to think about it.
So I absolutely love the Shamrock Shakes and McFlurries that McDonald's does. I can't wait for them to come. And last year, I couldn't get any. Every time I went to try, oh, we don't have any ice cream. Oh, we ran out of the Shamrock. You know, and those McFlurries cost a fortune, and they're easier on my stomach than the shake, even though the shakes are fantastic. I just really love the Shamrock flavoring. And so I returned something, and the money I got back, oh, look, I can go buy a Shamrock McFlurry. So here I go. My mistake was going to the McDonald's near my house. So I pull up and asked for 2 Shamrock McFlurries, because Beth wanted one.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Naomi did too, but that's not who I was buying for.
Yeah.
So he said, what? 2 Shamrock McFlurries. Just a minute. And he walked away. A little while later, now it's a Shamrock Oreo McFlurry, right? But he puts on the board Oreo McFlurry. I said, that's not what I ordered. I ordered a Shamrock Oreo McFlurry. So we put it on there right. Unbelievably, there was nobody in line, and I pull up, I pull up to get my McFlurries, and I wait. Nobody's at the window. Nobody's at the 10 minutes. So I guess because they hadn't had ice cream in so long, they didn't know how to make a McFlurry. I have no idea. But
They had to milk the cow
apparently
and then make the ice cream.
they had to go
and
snip the mint, I don't know. Anyway,
then bake the cookies.
so here they come finally with the McFlurries. And she handed me one with no spoon. And then she said,
Not the stir spoon, the big stir spoon?
no, they don't use those anymore. But
they
she didn't
don't.
give me any spoons. And then I said I ordered 2 because I paid for 2, and she said, I know, they're still making the other one. I felt like saying, am I going to wait here another 10 minutes? Anyway, finally she hands me the other one. It's got ice cream all over the outside.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, can you please wipe this down for me and give me some spoons? She was incredibly angry. And she handed me the McFlurry and the spoons and napkins wrapped around it in the same thing, right? Fortunately, I had asked for a receipt. So I go home. I taste my McFlurry, and I knew by looking at it that it was wrong. I think perhaps they used a gallon of the McFlurry flavoring in there.
Oh, no.
It had so...
Here's a shamrock.
Yeah, and it was so awful. I was like, I wanted a real one.
Mine wasn't bad.
They were like, oh, that was too much. We'll do it right for the second one.
No, I think that Beth isn't as critical of Shamrock as I am. So I went and found my receipt and I filled out the thing for buy one, get one. Gave him a nasty review. I wanted a shamrock. I did not, however, want that mess that they gave me. And they took too long to make it.
Yeah. I have a McDonald's.
And
Sorry.
so Beth and I were running around and I said, hey, I have a buy one, get one free, sandwich, So we went there and we both ordered a quarter pounder with cheese and buy one, get one free. And oddly enough, that's what we paid for. But he said, what about the Big Mac?
And she said, I didn't order a Big Mac.
This is at the window where you're going to pick up, you know.
Yeah, because you had bought the sandwiches and I bought the drinks, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we had two separate orders that,
And he's like, but what about the Big Mac?
What about it?
So we got a free Big Mac.
Never let me gift Big Mac in the mouth.
Okay.
Well, today I went to McDonald's because I went out to get eggs and to the official egg supplier of the Phoenix Symphony. Apparently, okay, I think you're now the official egg supplier of the Phoenix Symphony because all my friends at work are getting eggs. Anyway.
But they expect you to get them and they'll pay you or what?
No, it's fine.
No, I mean, is that what they're doing?
Well, yeah, because I'm the mule.
Egg courier.
I'm the mule. I'm the egg pusher. I'm the mule. Anyway, no, Sonia's the pusher. I'm the mule. Anyway, so I had to gas up so I could get home because it was far. And there's a McDonald's right there, and I was like, oh hey Eli, let's go grab some breakfast. So after we gassed up, I went to the McDonald's and we walk in and there's no front counter.
Yeah, a lot of them aren't.
And there's only kiosks and there's only at the front counter, you could tell that it wasn't a counter and there wasn't anybody there. And I was like, okay. It was very strange and I didn't like it and it was bizarre. And then I get to but I didn't get these drinks then because I knew I had to go home, put the eggs away, blah, blah, blah. So then I go to the McDonald's near my house, and the lobby's closed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh. So I pull around to the side, and I was like, we were just at McDonald's where there's nothing but kiosks. Is that what they're doing in there? And she's like, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
Well,
I was gonna say
when they keep raising the minimum wage.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was interesting, but.
You had another story?
I did. Did I have another story?
You wrote something
you had
down.
a little Pizza Hut.
I wrote something down.
Oh, Pizza Hut. Forgot about that one. So my son's 1 year anniversary of becoming a police officer came up, and I wanted to congratulate him, and his girlfriend and I are planning a surprise party.
That was good.
And I said, I'll get the pizza. And we assigned, different foods for different people. And Pizza Hut had a big box that had 3 pizzas. And I tried to order it on the app, and it wouldn't let me. The cart kept saying 0. So that morning, I finally called, and there was somebody that answered. Okay, so I placed the order through her, and she sounded like she knew what she was talking about. I asked for, they made it wrong, but, pesto drizzle, basil pesto drizzle, on some bell peppers. They ended up putting it, somewhere else. That's okay. That's minor, right? Yeah, as she was hanging up, she said, okay, we'll have that ready at 6. I said, no, 6:30. Okay, yeah, 6:30, and she hung up. But I was like, I don't want that ready at 6, just sitting there.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna just stop by, but I forgot. It's like 2 minutes from my house. And so I called in the afternoon. And I said, I had this order, and I just want to make sure that it's ready at 6:30. She goes, it's been ready since 11.
Well, you're going to make new pizzas.
I said, I don't want those pizzas ready since 11. I want fresh pizzas ready at 6:30. She goes, I totally understand. I was like, oh my God. If I hadn't called.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they're ready in 10 minutes, and they could have remade them for me. But I was like,
Nasty. Oh my gosh. I don't know.
can you imagine sitting in the warmer since 11? Excuse me.
Here's your cardboard inside a cardboard.
What's the point of ordering early if they're not going to get the order right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a lot of, what's the point? No, I was going to say, so this week, oh, cute. I was watching you sew together. This week, so we play card games at my house all the time, and we have trophies for different things. And one of the trophies we have is for hand and foot, and one of the trophies we have is for cribbage. And I had, we were playing cribbage. I had the trophy, and then Eli stole it from me. But anyway, that's another. But we were playing. So in cribbage, if you're familiar with cribbage, there is a hand that you can get that is the highest possible points. It's 29 points. It's if you have 4 5s in your hand and 3 5s in your hand and a jack, and then there's a 5 on the deck, and the suits match the jack and matches the suit on that 5. That's the only way you can get 29 points. For various reasons. And if you don't know cribbage, don't worry about it. But if you do, you understand what I'm saying. So it's 29 points. It's the highest you can get, and I've never gotten it. But sometime last year, and I even posted it on Instagram, like I wound up with that hand, and I could not believe it. And I photographed it, and it was amazing. It was 29 points. Like, it was like one of those, the stars aligned. So anyway, we were playing cribbage, and it was partly, I think, because Mark wasn't doing as well in the game. But I was like, do you remember that time when I got 29 points? He goes, yeah, I remember the time. He was so cool. He goes, I know, Santa. He was stealing the card. He made me laugh so hard. I remember you get 29 points. Okay, I remember. Like, oh my God, it's so funny.
That's like me and my I want an iPad story all the time that I always bring up. The newspaper in Little Rock, was doing the giveaway.
An iPad.
Yeah,
well,
I was like, I want an iPad.
Rogue just came and said, "Aren't you done yet?"
Yeah, no.
But when I went up, one of my friends at church said, "Can I touch you?" It's like, I want some of that good luck to rub off on me.
Oh, my 29 points. Yeah, I'm special because I got that, but I lost I'm losing to a rug. I lost it to Eli. Lost my trophy. And I also don't have the hand and foot trophy. Mark beat me. And right now, the game we're playing, we only play. Eli always wants to play more than. So
you were sitting in the wrong seat. No,
we're sitting in the same seats. In hand and foot, you play 4 hands to win the whole thing. 4 games, and
it takes forever.
And Eli always wants to play more than 1 game a night, and we're like, no, I'll lose my mojo. You can't do it. It's like the rules. You have to play 1 game a night. So anyway, we're in the first game. Mark and I were 10 points apart, and Eli was only like 1,000 points behind, which is not that much. Second hand, I'm ahead by 50 points, and Mark and Eli are tied. It's never been this close. Like, it is crazy. So that's a very high pressure game. And it's like, I win my trophy back from Mark.
Yeah.
But we also play this game called Agricola, which is like a farming game. And I cannot, it's so complicated, and I always make the wrong choice. Same thing with Settlers of Catan.
Yeah.
I'm a very
Mark picks the best games.
I'm a very smart person, but both of those games, you have to make these kind of decisions early on. And with Agricola, you have to continue to make them, but it's very hard. You've like limited resources, and you have to decide what to pick. So with that, it's like a harvest schedule, and the first one is like several cards long, and then the second one is only a few rounds long, and then the third and fourth is only 2 rounds long, and then the last one is only 1. But during those rounds, at the end, you have to harvest. You have to feed your family. So if you have 2 people, they each have to have 2 meals at the end. And the way you make the meals is by farming, and you have animals, and you sow vegetables or grain or whatever. You have to do all these things, and so you have to. You have 2 people. You start out with 2 people.
Very difficult.
And you have to put them on certain actions, like you have to sow a field, or you have to plant those vegetables, or you have to get a sheep, or you have to get wood and brick, and and so there's all these options of getting things in order to make your things and to cook your food and to blah, blah, blah. And I'm just always overwhelmed, and I never win. I never win. So anyway. That's my
How
game
did it
plan.
become 12:30 on?
I don't know. We better go. I gotta go to Joanne's before it closes. So I will.
Do you want me to put this back in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will see you. Thanks for joining us one more time, and thanks for spending time with us. I ran out of my drink. Your drink of choice. We'll see you later. Thanks so much. Bye.